Hi there, and welcome back to another installment of Understanding Your Business Better, a vodcast by Telkom Business where we focus on small businesses as well as the future of these small businesses. Today we are talking rebranding and developing those relationships to make you a sales guru. We are joined by Mr. Albert Makoeng from theSALT, who is one of the leading figures in terms of influencer management and marketing. How are you today?
I'm excellent. Thank you for having me on set, and I'm excited just to share some insight and to the viewers, and then also how to grow top line.
Well, we can't wait to hear how partnering up and navigating the digital space is pivotal for small businesses today. So since we're talking SMEs, and we know that they were one of the hardest hit parts of the commercial sector, what do you think was the biggest impact on SMEs during the COVID-19 crisis?
Look, it was definitely top line, because if you are not digitally enabled as a business, you actually found yourself in big trouble. And also not just SMEs, working with various brands, like famous brands, even the Spur Group, who didn't have a digital offering at that time, struggled. People like McDonald's who had drive-through, had apps enabled, people could order. So that was very simple. And, working also with Telkom Business on the Telkom Yep actually offered SMEs a great platform where they could actually transact. We actually were driving awareness of the platform, and people can register and list their services for free. And also there's also other tools that can enable them to be digitally savvy, because we saw that during this pandemic, the traditional channels were not, the first route to market. So you had to find different touch points to actually reach your end user ultimately.
And how do you think this impact has taken place across different verticals?
Well, the impact has been vast, like I said, example with the famous brands, they didn't have a digital offering at that time. They struggled, but working with people that had digital enablements, like Take a Lot, your likes of DSTV actually saw an uptake during that time. And also other, I think more your MNOs like Telkom Business, even Telkom Consumer, because they're offering lots of people staying at home, and they were an enabler. We did also some work with OpenServe, where we showcase in terms of how the app can enable someone to test their speed, and most important, enable their businesses to be connected to deliver services. We had, the likes of their COO, telling us in terms of how the world has changed. And so I think digital is going to be the way for, going forward, and that's not going to change for a long time. And your business needs to be set like that. Even from your sales channel, everything should be on cloud-based and should deliver a digital solution ultimately.
And I think it's very interesting in that you talked about the businesses that failed and the ones that succeeded over the past year and a half. And for businesses that are maybe on the ropes or struggling now, what would you say that first move should be?
Look, you need to also look at top line. You need to look at, what's your outreach in terms of a business, and also what are you trying to solve for what services? How do your service enable your client and actually to push top line? And if you can answer that, then you'll be successful. But also you need to outreach. You need to ensure that you also have the right tools that enables you to do, to render those services. And you need to, I think, be upfront, show initiatives as a solution provider. And if you do that, then businesses will want to also collaborate with you to almost, help them with their top line.
So how do you think that will then help the businesses in this position?
So look, digital will always be the way. Like I said, a great market is like Telkom Yep, because it offers SMEs that doesn't have big budgets and platforms to actually enable them. It gives you a proper platform for you to trade. You actually businesses enlist, and people also can, you're looking for your local hair salon or your local electrician. So that Telkom Yep is actually a great market, especially from a South Africa perspective. And I think kudos to Telkom for, bringing up a marketplace like that. But your business, like I said, forefront right now because of the different strategies. Like I shared that also, people are spending more time on platforms. We are TikTok official partner, and we saw the screen time increase from 1 hour to even 6 hours. And in terms of how much content people are consuming. So even in terms of your marketing initiatives and everything, it should always be mobile first and showcasing that whether through, you buying, through Facebook, Instagram and whatever, or you have a Twitter strategy from a marketing point of view. But your business must be out there and ensure that you speak first digital to your consumers, ultimately.
And we've spoken about bigger brands as well as smaller businesses. How important do you think a sales plan is? Do you think that all businesses need it? And for smaller businesses, is it still applicable when they're working with smaller margins?
Sales plan is critical because sales plan, at least it gives you a roadmap in terms of where you want to go. And you also need to review it. You probably want to review it monthly, quarterly, depending on your reporting mechanism, but it also enables you to say, is my plan working? What do I need to change? Whether you're B2C or B2B, you need to still, be able to say, and you also forecast, you look at data previous years, what did you achieve and what you need to do to actually either break even or actually be in surplus, And if you're a small business, you're starting up, you still need to forecast. You need to look at probably other competitors or any other entrants that are in the market, your size, and say, okay, what have they achieved? You peg yourself in terms of their numbers, and that's what you ultimately do. But I suggest for any business, you always want to also, over forecast so that at least you can come to a sweet spot where you can actually then be a healthy business.
And we touched recently on business-to-business transactions. And if you're a business that's maybe serving corporates mainly, at what point would you say is the right time to sell your services?
So you need to understand your services, especially the people you're targeting. When is their fiscal? When are their key quarters, And if you understand that, that means that you will always then know when to actually knock on the door. When do they do their planning? When do they do their strategy and sign off budget? And also, I think LinkedIn is actually a great tool from a B2B perspective. So you need to also then follow, the key decision makers within that organization, and also then post on a weekly basis in terms of what your offering is. Because from a platform perspective, they see you as a content creator, bring a funnel through or people through their platform, so they prioritize your content to a bigger pool. And when you also engage with that brand, and that means that the brand can also then engage with you, and then you set up a call to say, guys, I think I've seen what you do. I think I have a solve for you. Can I have 25 minutes of your time to take you through crates and some case studies?
Well, I certainly think that it's given small businesses a lot to think about in terms of kicking things up into gear digitally, especially. So thank you for that, Mr. Makoeng.
Thank you for having me.
And that's all we really have time for right now, but catch us on the next installment of Understanding Your Business Better. A big thank you to our sponsors, Telkom Business, as well as our guest, Mr. Albert Makoeng. We will be getting into having the adequate tools to getting adequate results for your business and making your business work hard for you. But for now, bye-bye.